The concept of the third eye has captivated the human imagination for centuries. It is a symbol of enlightenment, intuition, and mystical powers. In esoteric teachings and New Age literature, the third eye is often portrayed as a dormant organ of perception. This organ holds the potential to unlock extraordinary abilities within us. Some believe that by activating the third eye, we can access higher dimensions of reality. We could tap into psychic powers like clairvoyance and telepathy. The idea of possessing such abilities is undeniably alluring. It speaks to our deepest desires for knowledge, power, and transcendence. Imagine being able to perceive things beyond the reach of our ordinary senses. We could see auras, read minds, or even glimpse into the future. The allure of the third eye lies in its promise of unlocking these hidden potentials within us. When we approach the idea of the third eye, it is crucial to recognize the limitations of a purely physical interpretation. While some associate the third eye with the pineal gland, a small endocrine gland in the brain, this connection is largely symbolic. Although the pineal gland plays a role in regulating sleep-wake cycles, there is no scientific evidence to support its role in extrasensory perception or mystical experiences. To understand the true meaning of the third eye, we must look beyond its supposed anatomical location and delve into the realm of symbolism. In many spiritual traditions, the third eye represents a higher form of seeing, one that transcends the limitations of our physical eyes. It is the seat of intuition, wisdom, and spiritual insight. The third eye is not something we can physically dissect or analyze. It is a concept that points to a deeper dimension of human consciousness. If we approach the third eye as a metaphor, it becomes a powerful tool for self-discovery and spiritual growth. Rather than seeking external validation or supernatural powers, we can turn our attention inward, exploring the vast landscape of our own consciousness. The third eye, in this context, represents our capacity for introspection, intuition, and insight. When we cultivate our inner vision, we begin to see the world and ourselves with greater clarity. We are less swayed by external appearances or the opinions of others. Our intuition guides us, and we develop a deeper understanding of our own thoughts, emotions, and motivations. This journey inward is not about escaping reality, but about engaging with it more fully and authentically. One of the most common claims associated with the third eye is its supposed connection to the pineal gland. This small, pine-cone-shaped gland, located deep within the brain, has long been shrouded in mystery. Its role in regulating sleep-wake cycles through the production of melatonin is well established. However, some have attributed mystical properties to the pineal gland, suggesting that it acts as a physical manifestation of the third eye. While the pineal gland's functions are remarkable, there is no scientific evidence to support its role in extrasensory perception or any other paranormal phenomena. Neuroimaging studies have shown no correlation between pineal gland activity and experiences commonly associated with the third eye, such as clairvoyance or telepathy. Furthermore, the pineal gland's anatomical structure does not suggest any sensory capabilities beyond its known functions. Section 2. The neuroscience of intuition and insight. Although the concept of a physical third eye lacks scientific basis, the experiences it represents, intuition, insight, and a sense of interconnectedness, are very real. These experiences, often described as aha moments or flashes of inspiration, can be explained through the lens of neuroscience. Our brains are constantly processing vast amounts of information, both consciously and unconsciously. Intuition and insight occur when our unconscious mind makes connections that our conscious mind may not have recognized. Neuroimaging studies have shown that these moments of insight are often accompanied by increased activity in specific areas of the brain, such as the anterior cingulate cortex and the prefrontal cortex. These areas are associated with cognitive flexibility, problem solving, and the integration of information from different parts of the brain. Intuition, then, is not some mystical force, but a natural product of our brain's complex processing power. Section 3. Debunking the myths, separating fact from fiction. Despite the lack of scientific evidence, the idea of the third eye as a source of paranormal abilities persists. Countless books, workshops, and online resources claim to offer techniques for activating the third eye and unlocking these hidden powers. These claims often prey on people's desires for knowledge, power, and spiritual enlightenment. It is essential to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism and critical thinking. One of the most common myths is that activating the third eye will grant us access to psychic abilities like clairvoyance, telepathy, or precognition. However, there is no credible scientific evidence to support the existence of these abilities. Parapsychological research has yielded no reproducible results to demonstrate the reality of extrasensory perception. Section 4. The power of belief and the placebo effect. While the scientific evidence for the third eye as a physical organ with paranormal abilities is lacking, it is undeniable that many people report experiencing real and transformative changes through practices associated with the third eye. How can we reconcile these subjective experiences with the lack of objective evidence? The answer may lie in the power of belief and the placebo effect. Our beliefs have a profound impact on our experiences. When we believe that something is possible or that a particular practice will have a specific effect, our brains and bodies often respond accordingly. This phenomenon, known as the placebo effect, has been well documented in numerous scientific studies. For example, research has shown that people who believe they are receiving a painkiller, even if it is a placebo, often experience a reduction in pain. Section 5. The allure of the paranormal, why we want to believe. The enduring fascination with the third eye and paranormal phenomena speaks to a deeper human need for mystery, meaning, and connection to something greater than ourselves. In a world often dominated by rationality, science, and technology, the allure of the paranormal offers a sense of wonder, a glimpse into the unknown, and a potential escape from the mundane. For some, the belief in paranormal abilities provides a sense of comfort and control in an uncertain world. The idea that we might be able to predict the future, communicate with the dead, or tap into hidden knowledge can be incredibly appealing, especially in times of stress or adversity. Section 1. The third eye and self-realization, cultivating inner vision. While the pursuit of paranormal powers associated with the third eye often leads to a dead end, the concept itself can be a valuable tool for self-realization. By shifting our focus from external abilities to inner transformation, we can harness the metaphorical power of the third eye to cultivate greater self-awareness, insight, and wisdom. The journey begins with recognizing that true seeing comes not from some mystical organ, but from the clarity and focus of our own minds. Just as we train our physical eyes to perceive the world around us, we can train our inner eye to perceive the subtle workings of our thoughts, emotions, and motivations. This inner vision allows us to see ourselves more clearly, to understand the root causes of our suffering, and to make choices that align with our deepest values and aspirations. Section 2. Clarity of mind, the true clairvoyance. The most profound form of clairvoyance is not the ability to see into the future or read minds, but the ability to see clearly into the nature of our own minds. When we cultivate clarity of mind through practices like meditation and mindfulness, we begin to perceive the world and ourselves with greater accuracy and less distortion. We become less reactive to our thoughts and emotions, less swayed by external circumstances, and more present in each moment. This clarity of mind allows us to see through the illusions and limiting beliefs that often cloud our judgment and create unnecessary suffering. We begin to recognize that our thoughts are not facts, but simply mental events that arise and pass away. We develop a sense of spaciousness within ourselves, a sense of peace and equanimity that is not dependent on external conditions. Section 3. The illusion of special powers. Embracing our humanness. The desire for special powers often stems from a sense of lack or inadequacy. We may believe that if we could only see the future, read minds, or influence events with our thoughts, we would finally be happy, secure, or in control. However, this pursuit of external power is ultimately a distraction from the true source of fulfillment, which lies within ourselves. True power comes not from supernatural abilities, but from embracing our humanness, with all its imperfections and limitations. It comes from cultivating compassion for ourselves and others, from developing our innate potential, and from contributing our unique gifts to the world. Section 4. The perils of spiritual bypassing. Facing our shadows. The allure of the third eye and its supposed powers can lead to a phenomenon known as spiritual bypassing. This occurs when we use spiritual ideas or practices to avoid facing uncomfortable emotions, unresolved traumas, or the shadow aspects of ourselves. We may become obsessed with meditation, energy healing, or other practices, not as a genuine path of growth, but as a way to bypass the messy and challenging work of psychological and emotional healing. While spiritual practices can be incredibly beneficial, they are not a substitute for therapy, self-reflection, or the willingness to confront the darker aspects of ourselves. True spiritual growth requires us to face our shadows, to acknowledge our pain, and to integrate all parts of ourselves, both light and dark. Section 5. The third eye in practice. Meditation, mindfulness, and self-awareness. While we may not be able to physically activate a third eye, we can cultivate the qualities it represents through practices that enhance our self-awareness, focus, and inner peace. Meditation, mindfulness, and other contemplative practices can help us develop the clarity of mind, emotional regulation, and compassionate insight associated with the third eye. Meditation, in its various forms, trains our minds to become more focused, present, and less reactive to thoughts and emotions. By practicing regularly, we develop a greater capacity for observing our inner world without judgment, allowing us to see our patterns of thinking and behavior more clearly. Throughout history and across cultures, the concept of the third eye has held a prominent place in spiritual and esoteric traditions. While science may not recognize a physical manifestation of the third eye, its symbolic importance in these traditions cannot be ignored. These interpretations offer valuable insights into the potential of human consciousness and the pursuit of spiritual growth. In many Eastern traditions, such as Hinduism and Buddhism, the third eye is associated with higher states of consciousness and spiritual awakening. It is seen as a gateway to intuitive knowledge, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of reality. These traditions emphasize the importance of meditation, mindfulness, and ethical conduct as means of activating the third eye and accessing these higher realms of awareness. To further understand the concept of the third eye, let's explore its interpretation in different spiritual traditions around the world. In Hinduism, the third eye is associated with the Ajna chakra, one of the 7 primary energy centers in the body. The Ajna chakra is located at the brow point and is believed to govern intuition, wisdom, and spiritual insight. Activating the Ajna chakra is said to lead to a state of heightened awareness, allowing individuals to perceive the interconnectedness of all things. Buddhism also recognizes the significance of the third eye, referring to it as the eye of wisdom or the divine eye. This eye is often depicted on statues and images of the Buddha, symbolizing his enlightened state and ability to see beyond the veil of illusion. In Buddhist practice, Developing the eye of wisdom involves cultivating mindfulness, concentration, and ethical conduct to purify the mind and attain enlightenment. The concept of the third eye is often linked to psychic phenomena, such as clairvoyance, telepathy, and precognition. These abilities, commonly referred to as extrasensory perception or ESP, suggest a capacity to perceive information beyond the realm of the five senses. While anecdotal accounts and personal testimonies of such phenomena abound, scientific evidence remains elusive. Despite numerous attempts to study and validate ESP under controlled conditions, results have been largely inconclusive. Skeptics argue that these phenomena can be explained by coincidence, selective memory, or the power of suggestion. However, proponents of ESP suggest that current scientific methods may not be sophisticated enough to measure these subtle energies, or that psychic abilities may function outside the realm of traditional scientific understanding. Section 4. The ethics of seeking psychic powers. The pursuit of psychic powers raises ethical considerations that warrant careful reflection. While the idea of possessing extraordinary abilities might seem appealing, it is essential to consider the potential consequences and responsibilities that come with such powers. One ethical concern is the potential for manipulation and exploitation. If individuals genuinely possess psychic abilities, how do we ensure that these abilities are not used for personal gain, control over others, or other unethical purposes? The lack of regulation and oversight in the realm of psychic phenomena raises concerns about potential harm and abuse. Section 5. The true path to spiritual awakening. While the allure of the third eye and its associated powers can be tempting, true spiritual awakening lies not in seeking external abilities, but in cultivating inner transformation. The journey inward, a journey of self-discovery, compassion, and wisdom, offers a more sustainable and fulfilling path to spiritual growth. This inward journey involves confronting our shadows, healing our emotional wounds, and cultivating qualities such as mindfulness, gratitude, and forgiveness. It requires us to examine our beliefs, challenge our limitations, and connect with a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in life. Beyond the myths, embracing the metaphor. Our exploration of the third eye has taken us on a journey through ancient myths, scientific inquiry, and the vast landscape of human consciousness. While we may not have uncovered evidence of a physical organ capable of granting us supernatural powers, we have gained a deeper understanding of the symbolic power and metaphorical richness of this enduring concept. The third eye, rather than a literal organ, serves as a potent symbol of our innate potential for wisdom, intuition, and spiritual insight. By letting go of the need for a purely physical explanation, we open ourselves to a more nuanced and empowering interpretation of the third eye. It becomes a metaphor for our capacity to see beyond the surface of things, to perceive the world and ourselves with greater clarity and understanding. This inner vision, cultivated through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection, allows us to access a deeper level of awareness and connect with the wisdom that resides within us. The third eye as a catalyst for growth. While we may not be able to physically activate a third eye or gain supernatural powers, the concept itself can serve as a powerful catalyst for personal and spiritual growth. By embracing the qualities associated with the third eye, intuition, wisdom, clarity of mind, and a sense of interconnectedness, we can transform our lives from the inside out. The journey begins with a willingness to look within, to explore the vast landscape of our own consciousness, and to cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves. Meditation and mindfulness practices become invaluable tools on this journey, helping us develop the mental focus, emotional regulation, and present moment awareness needed to perceive our thoughts, feelings, and sensations with greater clarity. As we become more attuned to our inner world, we begin to recognize the habitual patterns of thinking and behavior that may be holding us back from experiencing greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. The real miracle awakening to our true nature. The true miracle of the third eye is not the promise of paranormal abilities, but the realization of our own inherent wisdom, compassion, and interconnectedness with all things. This realization does not come from acquiring special powers or accessing hidden knowledge, but from cultivating a deep and abiding awareness of our true nature. It is a process of awakening to the reality that we are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it, interconnected with all beings and woven into the very fabric of existence. This awakening is not a destination, but a journey, a lifelong exploration of our own consciousness and the nature of reality. It is a process of shedding limiting beliefs, healing old wounds, and opening our hearts to the beauty and wonder of the present moment. As we cultivate greater awareness, we begin to see through the illusions of the ego, the belief that we are separate, isolated individuals striving for survival and fulfillment in a hostile world. The journey continues. A lifelong exploration. As we come to the end of our exploration of the third eye, it is essential to remember that the journey does not end here. The pursuit of wisdom, clarity, and spiritual insight is a lifelong endeavor, one that unfolds gradually over time with patience, dedication, and an open heart. There are no shortcuts or quick fixes on this path, no magical techniques that will instantly grant us enlightenment or supernatural powers. The real magic lies in the journey itself, in the daily practice of cultivating awareness, compassion, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Let us not be discouraged by the lack of a physical third eye or the elusive nature of paranormal abilities. Instead, let us embrace the metaphorical power of this enduring concept and allow it to inspire us to live with greater intention, purpose, and awareness. The journey of the third eye is a journey of self-discovery, a lifelong exploration of the mysteries within and the wonders that surround us.